Shalom, shalom, Yahshua Allah. I'm going to start off first things first. Give it all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakadash, which in the Pedro Hubatam is the correct names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to you sister brothers living this truth, and shalom to brothers and sisters that's listening and studying to show yourselves approved. Woo, Yahshua, I got a quick testimony that should boost your faith. I know it boosted my faith with the situation that's happened to me, and I'm about to let you know something happened that was so biblical, and it can probably forecast, what type of safety we're gonna have moving forward. So let me break it down to y'all, what happened to me a couple days ago. So I'm coming home, I'm going down the street. I done got off the highway, I'm going down the street, and I get pulled over by the police, right, Yahshua? So, and I ain't been pulled over in a long time. So I get pulled over, Yahshua, and the reason I got pulled over is my tag is out. My tag goes January. So because it's in January, I thought that I was still good on my tag because it says this current year. But I found out, no, when you're in January, you got to go a year ahead. I didn't know that. So I didn't know my tag was out. But my tag was out, so the police pulled me over. And I done went a whole year, Joshua, like we almost at the new year. My tag been out this whole time, I didn't even know it. So I got pulled over by the police. And he comes out. I got my license, my insurance ready. Because I'm thinking I didn't do nothing wrong. I'm like, why is he pulling me over? But, when you get pulled over as a Jake, you can lose your life at that instance if that officer's having a bad day. When Jake gets pulled over, it can be very life-threatening if you don't know how to handle yourself. So I get pulled over. Dude comes out. It's a big old giant Edomite, Yahshua, giant Edomite. And he seems like he has an attitude, too. Like, he seems aggravated. So as I get pulled over, I try to do my best to, disarm him. I'm like, what's the problem, officer? Because I was going to speed limit, seatbelt on. So I'm like, why I get pulled over? So he's like, man, your tag was out? I'm like, I didn't know that, officer. It's January and it's 2024. My tag should be good. And he was like, no, you're supposed to have 2025. Your tag is out. At that point, I didn't argue with him or none of that. I'm like, okay, officer. So he took my stuff back. And matter of fact, as I said, Dad, let me go get this. Because this is what I did. Because, ignorant Jake would have sat there and argued him down. Nah, my tag good, man. I don't know what you talk about, man. You just did that because I'm black. I didn't sit there. I didn't make no arguments with that dude. So this is Matthew 5:25. It says, agree with thy adversary quickly whilst thou art in the way with him. Lest in any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou should be cast into prison. So I followed that commandment, man. Them police officers, them is like Roman soldiers. They'll deliver you up to go to prison, and then you got to go to the judge. So I agreed with him, man. I didn't, because he already seemed like he had an attitude. He already seemed like he was aggravated. So I just did my best to make him feel, comfortable. I wasn't trying to rile him up. I didn't try to argue my case. My tag is good. My tag ain't out. Woo woo. Because then that's how you get, you get unalive like that. Or, you just get jammed up. So, man, big old Edomite too, man. He had this big old vest on. That's how I know it's about to get juicy around here, Yahshua. Because on his vest, he had like the world's biggest bulletproof vest I've ever seen in my life. All kind of clips in it, flashlight. I mean, everything. I'm like, God dang, this dude look like he about to go to war or something. So you tell things gonna turn up. So this is a big giant Edomite, all his war gear on. He grabs my stuff. He in the back. And at this time, I'm thinking, oh, man, my tag is out. I'm about to get a ticket. He could have been an a-hole. I had insurance, so he couldn't tow my car, but he could have gave me a ticket for, my tag being out. So he comes back, hands me my insurance, my license, and he tells me, hey, I'm going to let you off with a warning. Go get that fixed. And I was like, wow, because I thought it was going to go bad because he seemed like he was aggravated. So when he came back and told me that, I already calculated in my head, like, man, how much you think this ticket is? I'm about to get a ticket. Dang, I didn't want to, spend no unnecessary money to these devils. When he came back and let me off with a warning, and let me go, And usually my incidents that's been happening a lot lately since I've been in this truth. Before it didn't go like that. When I used to get pulled up by a police officer, they used to give me every ticket, they could think of. They look around, oh, you ain't did this. Oh, you ain't did that, and give me the maximum of tickets. I remember one time I got pulled over. I got like 3 tickets in one. Which I'm gonna say when I was young, I used to run around with no license and insurance, stuff like that. But I never used to get breaks like that back in the day. The police officer see me, he gonna give me the maximum penalty. I done had my car towed, all of that. I done went to jail before for tickets, things of that nature. But I noticed lately, since I've been in this truth, I've been getting a whole lot of grace and mercy. So I'm gonna go get this right here. We was just at this Proverbs 16:7, and it says, when a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. And that, I gotta tell y'all, that is so true. Because that officer could have gave me a ticket, but he let me go. And especially this time, usually you think they're trying to hit their quota and run it up, but he let me go. I got it resolved, and that was that precept, man. My ways are pleasing to the Lord. So let me know I must be doing something right. Because what am I doing? I'm in the truth. I push out the words of Yahweh Shai. Keep the laws and commandments best of my ability. Do the high holy days. That's pleasing to the Lord. So he's making my enemies be at peace with me. And that's so true too. Because I work, one of my jobs, I work with a lot of hardcore redneck Edomites. When I say Edomites, I'm talking about the so-called white man. I work with a lot of them. I'm talking about hardcore, go hunting all the time, got their camouflage on, and it's a lot of them up there. And in my area, in my Pacific area, I'm the only Jake in that area. And I'm around a bunch of, redneck Edomites, and they don't bother me. They fight each other versus trying to, pick fights with me and do stuff with me. They really don't bother me like that. Every now and then they come with some stuff, but it don't be nothing major. I ain't had no fights. They ain't really just came at me like, on some, trying to bring that racism stuff. Only time I remember incident I had, and really, he was just on some other stuff. He just wanted to see who I was voting for. And I checked him on that. But I ain't had no incidents. Like, the Edomites don't bother me at the job. And they'll, like I said, they'll fight each other. I seen 2 Edomites in my job get into a fight in my area. But I ain't had to bang with none of them. These is red-bellied, super Trump-loving Edomites. And they'll even come to me trying to get comfort. They'll ask me stuff about the war or ask me stuff about economics, because I talk to them more about it a lot. He's rich. We talk about that stuff a lot. So they'll come to me and ask suggestions about, and they even come to me talking about their life situation. Like, even Edomites don't even know. Come up talking about they about to lose their wife, and what do you recommend I do? And I be looking like, man, I'm not the designated therapist at the job. But that's the Lord right to make your enemies be peace with you. Because I'm like, why are these Edomites so comfortable to tell me their personal life and tell me that? But see, I know why though. That's the Lord, because the Lord knows I'm a prophet. So he allows Esau to tell me that so I can put it out for y'all to let you know what the temperature is of these Edomites, what's going on with them. Because they come to me willingly and tell me their personal business. And they don't come to me with, aggression. I want to fight and, you a nigger and this and that. No, they fight each other at the job. I just sit back and laugh. So that precept, man, I've been really experiencing that. I've been getting pulled over. Ever since I've been in the truth, when I get pulled over, I've been getting off with warnings. I haven't got a ticket in a long time. I think I only got like 1 ticket in the last probably, I want to say 10 years, I want to say. Or maybe 5 years, but I haven't got really tickets like that. And the only time I remember I had got a ticket, I was speeding like a mug. So I'm like, yeah, he had to give me that one. I was in my music. I was excited. I had watched a lesson. I got excited. And I was zooming down the highway, Yashara. And I zoomed right past the police. So I knew he had to give me a ticket. I was flying. I think I was doing just like a little bit under 90. But anyway, back on subject. Hey, the Lord is making our enemies be at peace with us. When you in this. So we got to, I looked at it like, if the Lord is giving me this type of grace and mercy and protection during this time, imagine during Jacob's trouble. So we got to trust that the Lord got us. Cause that could have went bad. I got pulled up at police. That could have went real bad, y'all, Strala. If I was some ignorant 2/3, or if I argued, I thought my tag was good. Say if I've been some ignorant Negro and argued that with that police officer, knowing that he's already aggravated. I don't know what he went through, what was happening. Maybe because he broke, because these police officers don't make a lot of money, or what his situation was. But he had a stone cold attitude when he came up, to the car. And I just peeped it like, oh, man, that's why I thought it was going to be bad for me. I was like, dang, man, this dude, and it was a big giant Edomite, too. And the way he was dressed, he just looked like he was ready for some action. So I'm like, I'm like, oh, man, this is about to be bad. And then he came. Like, his whole attitude, energy was different. I think maybe he ran my place, ran my information. He see I work jobs and, I got insurance. And he let me off. I got that tender mercy from the Lord. Because he could have gave me a ticket. He was in grounds to do that. Or you see what they do when a 2/3 get put off by Esau and they turn up the police officer, they get unalived. It could go like that. But instead, what did I get? I got tender mercy. Not this mercy, because I could have left off with the ticket and that'd have been mercy. Anytime you get put off by a police officer and they don't unalive you, or anybody don't unalive you, that's mercy. So I could have got off with the ticket. That'd be mercy, but I got the tender mercy. I didn't get no penalties. He didn't write me no ticket. I got off with a warning. And that goes into that tender mercy. And that's what we're going to need when Jacob's trouble really bubbles up. We're going to need that tender mercy. We're going to need that mercy where, don't know no ill will happen to us. And we're definitely going into them times. So when that situation happened, I pondered on it through the Spirit. And I was like, man, if the Lord is protecting me through stuff like this right now, how much more when Jacob's trouble happened? So it just boosted my faith. I praise the Lord. I had the money to take care of the situation. My tag had been out for a whole year, Yasharallah. And the Lord, I had the money to pay for it. And I'm just looking at the Lord is really, really blessing me at this time. And it's not going to say everything in your life going to go perfect. You still got your situations, but overall, I'm good. The Lord is protecting me. My family's taken care of. And I'm going to just continue doing what I'm doing. So I'm going to pull up our last precept, which is going to back up everything I just said. Because this is Psalms 40:11. It says, withhold not thou thy tender mercies from me, O Lord. Let thy loving kindness and thy truth continually preserve me. And woo, that's the prayer right there. That's the hope. That is the hope right there. So we got to have faith and believe that the Lord will do what? What he said right there. He will give us the loving kindness and he preserve us with this truth. Preserve our souls, preserve our life. Because as the scriptures say, some of the men standing here should not taste death. And we're about to go through some very, very perilous times during Jacob's trouble. It's going to be famine out here. There's going to be all kinds of factions and bloodshed going on out here during Jacob's trouble. And what do we need, man? We need the Lord to have them tender mercies on us, like he did to King David. And he's doing that. I just gave you an example where I got one. That police officer had an attitude. But the Lord made it to where, he let me go. Cool. He just boom, 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 got back in the car, got back on the road. And the next day, I took care of my situation. Because I'm not trying to get hemmed up by Esau's soldiers. Because a police officer, he works for the police force. They are to enforce the laws of Esau, Edom. And as a Israelite, we are not liked by the system. And if you do your, research, the police force used to be called slave patrol. Back in the 1700s, early 1800s, they find you on your plantation, man. They string you up and unalive your butt, and they do it today. They just do it with their guns, or with a knee to your neck, or choke you out. And that be judgment from the Lord, man. These Jakes don't know, man. You got to get right. Get right with Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Get back under the law, statutes, and commandments. Get back up under that. That way your ways will please the Lord, and these dudes will get up off of you. Cause you out here just being a wild nigga, and Esau him you up, man, you know how they get down, Yasharala. You know how they get down. So this is a big faith booster to me, Yasharala. And hopefully to you as well. And it shows that being in this truth has its perks. Because it comes with that tender mercy, man. And then ultimately, if we're part of the hopeful leg, it comes with that salvation and deliverance, which is what we're really, really looking forward to. But you got to do your part. You got to be in this truth. And that's just for the hope that you are part of the hopeful elect, because none of us know right now until disaster and all hell breaks loose in Jacob's trouble. Then we'll know. But to put yourself in that lot, you got to do what? It said the ways. Let's go back to that. I want to go back to that. Because that's a very big, heavy precept to me. It says, when the man's ways please the Lord. What is the way? The way is our culture. These laws, statutes, commandments, the high holy days, keeping them, that pleases the Lord. When you be obedient unto him. And when you do that, he preserves you, man. He'll make it where, because he controls everybody. Yahweh Shah controls everybody. He controls Israelite. He controls every nation. So he can make it where Esau don't do that to you. The Lord has the power to do that. And he just told us in Proverbs, you please the Lord, he'll get Esau up off of you. And now the whole Fleck are doing it as a nation, and you can see us just rising to the top. You can see it. So the scriptures are spot on. It's really boosting my faith. It is making me want to go even harder for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. So with that being said, I hope it's been comforting. Hope it's been encouraging. Hope it's been edifying. I want to say Kwam Yashar Allah, and stay locked in because Yahweh Shah is quickly on the way. Shalom.